Hi there, it's Nevin Brenner, Realtor with RE/MAX All Points. I want to thank you for checking out my latest video here in our educational series. Today we're going to talk about the top 10 things to look out for, or top 10 signs to look out for when buying a property. I've been a Realtor I'm on my 14th year now, and I've got a lot of experience of things that come up, or things that the buyers need to really pay attention when looking for a home. And of course I can help you purchase the home, but these are the things while you're looking and in the process that I'd love for you to pay attention to. Okay, so let's get started. Number one, look for exterior cracks and tilts. The inside can look really good, it can smell fresh, but outside, those are oftentimes the more expensive repairs or things that can come up that could cause you a lot of financial burden or hardship. You don't want to be compromised by ignoring things that you should have paid attention to. Make sure the cracks are not significant. If they're more than a 1/4 inch wide, you probably need to entrust the help of a structural engineer. Now obviously you're going to do a home inspection, but these are the things while you're looking throughout the home, while you're doing your viewings. Those cracks, pay attention to those, because they can really cause a lot of pain and financial burden. And, sometimes, and I hate to say it, but sometimes sellers they might try to cover it up by attempting to mud over or paint the cracks. So look out for fresh paint and surface mismatch when viewing a home. Okay. Number two on our list today is ownership history. Now, obviously, when you hire a realtor, part of our job is to pull the title. So something I'm looking for when I'm pulling the title is not only all the different charges on the title, but I'm also looking for ownership history. So it's just like if employers, when they're hiring and looking at a resume, those resumes, if somebody's been changing jobs every year, there's probably something wrong with, or there's a red flag there with their employment history. Either they're getting fired or they just quit on a job really quickly. Same thing with house. If they're changing owners on a regular basis, that could be a red flag that there's something going on with the house, whether it be a noisy street, a manhole that rattles that the city refuses to fix, or something going on, you're close to some sort of power plant or whatever. Anyways, the bottom line is, if there's a carousel of owners, something that's a red flag, look out for that, okay? And as a realtor, we'll pull the title as well. So just so you know. Number three, when walking through the home, look for water damage that's concealed by paint. I know what happens. I've seen it. If you the danger in painting over water damage is that when people do it, they think they're tricking somebody, but all they're doing is fooling themselves. When you paint over water damage, if it's still an active leak, you are actually trapping in the moisture, and it could lead to mold, and black mold is very unhealthy to breathe. And so look carefully underneath, on the underside of drawers or sinks in the kitchen. Look at the base of tubs and toilets. One of the biggest things is sheetrock around windows. If there's bubble or damage and it's painted over, you really got to make sure you know where the leaks are. Okay. So number 4 on our list, uneven or bouncy floors. Now, what I do is a little trick over my career. My experience has taught me to bring one of my son's marbles. Okay, what I like to do is it's the marble test. If there is a floor that, if it's a hardwood floor or a smooth surface floor that seems to be bouncy or uneven, just take the marble and just see what happens. If that marble picks up speed, you've got some issues. The older the house, the bigger the chance of the marble test really coming through. So sometimes the older the house, the more aggressively the tilting and the uneven floor becomes. So those things are very costly. I don't know if a lot of people don't know what it takes to fix very uneven floors, but you've got to rip out the existing floor. You've got to look at the supports. You've got to try to match it when you put it back together. You got to match the existing floors or change all the floors. So it could be very, very financially unfair. So marble test, quick little thing to check to see if it goes down, and that's what I do. So number 5, beware of air room fresheners. If the house is just overrun with room fresheners, there's a saying, stinky people wear a lot of deodorant or perfume or cologne. So that's no different for the house. If there are smells that are trying to be masked, those are issues, and those are potentially mold. There could be something has rotted within the structure of the home. Something could have died in the attic. Pets could have left a huge footprint of their urine, and it could really compromise the flooring. So beware of homes that are just overrun with air fresheners, okay? And the next point, again, kind of plays into number 5, but number 6 is beware of music playing in every room. It happens where, one of the strategy is to drown out the road noise of the highway that runs right beside the fence. Music playing is, and oftentimes is a warning sign that they're trying to cover up a noise. And so, ask them, if music is playing, ask whoever's showing you the property, maybe we can turn it down, I just want to hear. That's something that you really want to look into, okay? Number 7, and this happens, and it's happened to me, and you got to be insistent, but areas that the seller or the seller's agent won't let you see. So sometimes if there is a tenant in a basement suite, you can't see it. We're only able to see it after, based on the tenancy and you can only see it after you write an offer. Don't do it. You don't want to get locked in a contract. Let's put it to you this way. You don't buy a car unless you test drive it. It's no different than buying a house. Especially, it's even more important because it's the greatest and most important asset that you'll ever purchase or be a part of. So if you can't see it, that's a warning sign, and try to get in to look at it before committing to anything. Number 8 on our list is a huge red flag. And all realtors will tell you this, but if the seller is providing an incentive to waive the inspection, run. Always do a home inspection. It's very important because I'm a realtor. I'm not a plumber. I'm not an electrician. I don't build homes. So I can't tell you whether the house is good or bad. That's why you hire an inspector. So if somebody's trying to kind of get you to waive the inspection, that's a sign that there might be something more to it, and maybe run. So that's number 8. Number 9, if there's been renovations to the homes, fairly significant or structural, check for permits. My job again as a realtor is to help guide you through that process, but we want to see the permits because if we don't have access to viewing the permits, you could be in a lot of financial trouble if the work is not done properly and you have to remediate it. So things like you don't really need to look at maybe a bathroom renovation, but anything structural, again, in every deal or every home is different, but anything that requires a permit, they should be provided, okay? Last but definitely not least, number 10 on our list is for the buyers that are interested in stratified properties or condominiums or townhomes and apartments. Read your documents. So the things to look out for when you're reading your documents, this is just a quick little idea of things that you want to look out for that could cause red flags, is buildings that vote down large scale projects or repairs that have anything to do with water or structural. If the strata is trying to push through a vote to get work done, and they keep getting it voted down, that's a red flag. Anytime, if you always kind of get out in front of it and fix it before the lifespan ends, that's always a good sign. But emergencies or things that need to be done yesterday cost way more, and that's a red flag. Another red flag when we're reading your strata documents is enough money in the contingency reserve fund. That fund is there in case something happens, and that's a rainy day money. So if there's no money in that fund, the strata is gonna eventually ask to get it replaced or filled up. So very important to look out for that. Another thing too is, what is your maintenance fee cover? So if you're paying a certain amount per month, where does that go towards, or what are you paying for? Excuse me. Another thing is nature of ownership of parking stalls, storage lockers, and ownership of unit. Very important, because if you avoid that or not, don't look into that, your stall could be this number one day but moved all the way downstairs in the basement another day. So you want to make sure the nature of ownership of the things that are included with the sale of that apartment or townhome. Engineers reports. Something really to look out for is, obviously they're mandated it within DC here, making sure that every building knows, the engineers reports are in place so that every building has to know about their building and the shape that it's in. But something I always try to make sure I pay special attention to is, towards the end of every engineer's report, they have a lifespan report of all the major areas that have to do with the building. And so they'll indicate, roof and an estimated lifespan or life left on that particular roof. So all those major items, in the next 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, that they're going to have to replace it, because everything has a shelf life or a lifespan. So that's something to look out for, the lifespan of all the major components of the complex building and grounds. Okay. And as well the Form B. So the Form B is going to confirm your fees, your maintenance fee, and confirm all the major areas of the ownership with regards to that unit. And it's also going to confirm whether the property disclosure statement and the MLS listing were correct. So the correct amounts were put on there, okay? So that's it. So if you have any questions, call or email me. My number is 778-960-0699. Again, Nevin Brenner, 3 Max All Points. Let my experience go to work for you. I've been around a long time. I'm here to help. These are all a part of my educational series of things that I've come across in my career. I want to thank you for logging on wherever you came from. If it's my YouTube channel, thank you, or Instagram or Facebook, I appreciate it so much. You could find the full library of my educational series on realestatenevin.ca. If you have any questions, call me. My number's right there, or hit me with an email, info@realestatenevin.ca. I want to thank you again, and good luck with all those the home shopping, and I hope this list of things to look out for really helped you. Okay, so take care, everyone.